Okay, so first and probably biggest, most important thing is being able to combine positives and negatives. Because if you can't do that, kind of all the rest of your math is going to get messed up. So if you look at what we're talking about, the first thing that will make it easier is if you change all the subtraction to adding the opposite. So if you look at these, 5 minus 3, I can change that to 5 plus a negative 3. Negative 4 minus 12, change it to plus a negative 12. With this one, I don't need to do anything because they're being combined with addition. If I have 1 minus a negative 8, I'm going to change it to add the opposite. So now it becomes 1 plus 8. Same thing, doesn't matter if I have parentheses. I'm going to change this to negative 4 plus the opposite, so it becomes negative 4 plus 6. Once you've changed it to addition, just compare to see which is bigger, the number of negatives or the number of positives, and that determines the sign. So if I look at this one, the 8 is bigger, so this one will be negative. The 10 is bigger, so this one will be positive. If you look at this last one, I only have negatives. So if I only have negatives, the result is going to be negative. Here's a visual way to look at how to determine how many the number should be once you've decided positive or negative. So if you look at this, the 6 is bigger. That tells me that there are more negatives. So I know my answer is going to be negative. So I've got negative 6 here and positive 4 here. So the negatives are being shown by pinks and the positives by greens. So if I look at this, like these all kind of get rid of each other because a negative and a positive together make 0. So all I have to do is figure out how many more, in this case of the negatives, do I have. So I have 2 more. Okay, and if I wanted to do that without drawing a picture, I would look at the 6 and the 4 and say, how different are they? Well, difference means subtracting, so I would do 6 take away 4 to get my 2. Again, whichever there is more determines the sign. Let's do another one. So if I have this, I've got negative 3, so there are 3 pink ones. I've got positive 7, there are 7 green ones. There are more positives, so that's just showing me that there are more green ones there. Any that match up get rid of each other, so all we're saying is how many more positives are there. And so if I look purely at the numbers, 7 and 3, isn't 7 4 bigger? So my answer is going to be positive 4. Last one, let's look at this. If I change this to add the opposite, then I've got 5 negatives, and I'm combining that with 4 negatives. So everything is pink, everything is negative. I know my answer is going to be negative, and if you can see, there are 9 negatives. So when it's the same, we just combine them. We don't look for the difference between.